I really should put some music to this song. The last tune got flagged as somebody else's. It wasn't theirs. But they thought it was. Jerks. I could just do random commentary during this time. I could sing. No, won't sing. Could whistle. You hear me pouring. That's my last pour. Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. That's a song, right? About a camp. Filipino reefer. We'll save those ridiculous and I can't say that word. And silly shots for live stream and foolishness at Reefapalooza. %80 water change. What you got going on, Bert? All right, there we go. 10, 9. What's up, Kyle? Yeah, so it's been 3 weeks, y'all. What's going on? Thank you for everybody for jumping in. Poor man came in and then he pieced out because he's got stuff to do. Filipino Reefer Scott. Jaylene, how are you, ma'am? We got the Clevin. Peter. A whole bunch of people. Lauren, how are you? Mother, Father, Bert. Wade. Kyle. Yeah. So, it's been 3 weeks. We're going to... Let's talk current events real quick. Let's talk... What's up, Lynn? Let's talk why I didn't stream last week. See this? Get one. Dig it. So I woke up Saturday morning at about 4 o'clock, and I felt funny. I just felt weird. So I did one of those ECGs on my watch, and it said I was in AFib. So then I did about, I don't know, like 400 more of those because I didn't want to believe it, and it kept kicking back AFib. So I went upstairs, woke up my wife. I was like, yo, we're going to the hospital. So we jumped in the car. I drove myself to the hospital. I was fine. I feel fine. I felt fine, other than just weird. Anytime you tell them at 5 o'clock in the morning that you got a ticker problem, they get you in right away. So, and there was nobody in the waiting room, of course, luckily. Hospital's just down the street from me. Get in there, they confirm AFib, and now I'm camping out. They, I didn't take my pill today. You know, when you live this long without medications, mainly because I just don't go to the doctor, and I will now. It's really hard to remember to take your pill. I need to set a stupid alarm on my phone. But I was in a hospital until it was funny because Luca uses Big Daddy all the time. He calls people Big Daddy. I was watching Big Daddy at around 7 p.m. last Saturday night. And poof, I was like, wait, I feel better. I feel okay. And I looked up at my monitor, and sure enough, I was back in normal rhythm, normal heart rate, normal all that business. AFib's a really interesting thing. My resting heart rate jumped up to about 120, 130. The maximum heart rate I saw was about 251, which is insane. I was like, no way that data is accurate. And the cardiologist just didn't answer when I asked that question. And eventually things settled down. I did not have notifications turned on for heart anomalies. I do now. So, this isn't a, like I posted, this isn't at all a feel bad for me. This is a data matters. So, I mean, shocker, right? Coming from me. Consider getting a wearable that keeps an eye on your ticker, because I think that's important. What a miss. Yeah, so whatever. They kept me overnight. That sucked. Dude next to me was pretty cool. He was a retired attorney. Nice guy. Family. Lots of problems. I felt pretty bad, both with my minor problems and then leaving before he did. But cool conversation, good dude. And then I got to come home. So I have made, here's what's up, right? 9 years ago, I was able to do a marathon almost any day of the week. I could certainly run 50 miles any day. You tell me go run 50 miles, I could go run 50 miles. Then I did a couple Ironman thingies, and it broke my brain. I wasn't cool with that anymore. Like a full Ironman in Florida. I was slow, but I did it. And then I just quit. I'm not back to working out yet. I think I'll end up there, but I totally changed my diet. And as of like Friday, I'd lost 9 pounds just in a week, just from not eating the stupid way that I've been eating. So cutting out most carbs, paying attention to my protein and my fats and my calories, but really paying attention to carbs. And I'm looking back at all the stuff that I was eating. I was like, what the hell? Oh, when I was doing triathlons, I was 180 pounds. And when I stepped on the scale the Friday before I went in the hospital, I was 220. I'm 6'1", right? I'm chunky. And that nurse was checking me out. She was hilarious. Her name was Queen. Queen's checking me out, kicking me out of the hospital, evicting me. And she says, well, this is, she's giving me my paperwork. This is your diagnosis, and this is what we're thinking. And then next to that, it says obesity. So it says AFib, and then next to it says obesity. And at 220 pounds, at 6'1", I am obese. Look that up on the internet. I am not ashamed to call it obesity. I'll also call it stupidity. So I've changed my diet. And I'm going to chase that 190. That's easily doable. And then I'm going to start working out. I don't want to work out now because I'm just too damn heavy. I could ride a bike. But a little exercise, a little paying attention to what I'm eating. I'm using an app called what the hell is it called? Please hold. Why does it not see me? There we go. I'm using an app called Carb Manager. I'm using that app, cool story, because, right, I mean, if you don't care about this stuff, I apologize. I'm using that app because my nurse who was taking care of me, and she was amazing. She's telling me a story about how her husband was huge, and then he sees the doc for problems, and this RN, and I dig RNs who challenge doctors. I think that's cool. She's like, oh, hell no. That's not what we're doing. We're going to do this. So she started paying attention to what she was eating or for her husband, right? Helping him out. And then she's maybe 5 foot. She was tiny. And then she tells me she was 200 pounds. And I was like, no, bullshit. She shows me a picture. Her badge picture is a fat version of what I was looking at. And she's probably $110 now. And I'm like, what'd you do? Give me the no bullshit, right? I don't want him to talk around the subject. I want him to just dive right in and tell me I'm being stupid because I need to hear it from a professional. So she told me about the app. That's the app I'm using. It's working pretty well. Get that, Peter. Get that ticker. Get that ticker. Keeping an eye on that thing. I think that really matters. AFib sometime present. You know what was also interesting? Yeah, I'm on those meds right now, Kyle. I had a cough too. Because I was in Minnesota, right? Look. Yeah, it was. Look at that. Look, I was in Minnesota. Look how pretty that is. Oh, that messed up. What the hell? There it is. What? That's a peaceful place, right? I'm chilling in Minnesota. And I developed a cough. And I wondered, and I told the cardiologist that. And she's like, oh, yeah, that could totally be related. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Should pay attention to that. Yep. So all is well now. No issues since. Puddle Aquatics. Thank you. Hey, you going to come over and pick up a fish tank? You tell me when. Let me know if I need to bring it to you. It'll fit in the back of my minivan. Lynn is very kind. Thank you, Lynn. I too am happy that I'm not dead. Others, maybe not. That's their problem. That's not my problem. Fools. Let's say. Reef Keeper Phil. How about that booze you're chugging down? This is sipping, sir. This is sipping, and there's nothing that says I can't sip a little brown booze every once in a while. This ain't chugging. Nothing wrong with that. My watch is paying attention. I'm good. A little sip. 280 to 150. Got a little fluffy. Damn, Peter. That's badass. That's inspirational right there. My mother is also happy I'm not dead. All right, so get a wearable. If you're old, whatever. If you're over 40, get a wearable. Or just get a wearable. Because it's not going to hurt you. Am I blurry? Oh, I'm twitchy again, aren't I? What the hell? Minnesota. Towing the boys. They were trolling. They were legit trolling across the... Man, we had beautiful weather. The only day it rained was the day we left. It was so awesome. This thing, my wife caught this. It's a bowfin. So my cousin, he fishes up there too, right? I share this cabin with my uncle, my mom's brother, with 2 of my cousins. We all share this place. My uncle usually comes up with one cousin and me and my son, and the other cousin comes up when it's family time up there. But anyway, one cousin, the one I go up there and open a cabin with, the app is called It is called Carb Manager. So, for instance, dinner today. I'll come back to this bowfin. Dinner today, I had a bunch of kale, right? A whole thing of kale, cooked in coconut oil and butter with turkey bacon, 2 slices, and a little balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper. That was it. That dinner was 350 or so calories. No, 215 calories. And it totally filled me up. My calories today are under 2,000, 1966. And I'm just a hint over on carbs because I had a shake this morning to get me going because I was working on tile. Yeah. Okay, back to the bowfin. So let me see here. What I miss? Yeah, cool. I'm glad you're gonna get that Todd, right? Yeah. I'm glad you're gonna get that tank. Because that will make me happy that you'll have that tank. Turkey bacon was not at all depressing hanging out with Kale at all. Not one bit. It was totally good. Kyle. Fuyu. Oh, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's totally Kato. It's not that bad, Dad. Suck it up. There's just everything that you eat right now you can't eat. But, you know, whatever. We'll see how it goes. I can not have a... It's funny, I can't have a steak for breakfast, lunch, and... Actually, I kind of can, can't I? Whatever. That's not bad. All right, so this bowfin, my cousin says he catches these things all the time. Like, they're damn near jumping in a boat. My grandpa used to talk about these things. He called them dogfish. I saw one once when I was young. It is Japanese whiskey. I saw one when I was young, just swimming along the shoreline underneath the dock, and I was like, what? I was flipping out. Totally a Jurassic. It's related to a Jurassic era fish. It's a super old fish. I was fishing on the other side of the boat. My wife hooks it. That thing jumps out of the water like a bass. I was like, oh, damn, you got a bass, because all I could see was her pole bent over like a beast. I was like, oh, you got a big bass. Nope, bowfin. They smell like shit. Oh, my God. They're just rancid. Doesn't smell like poop, but it's just the most rancid smelling fish. My son and I were back there, and the thing flopped around the boat before I got it back in the water. So that nasty slime was all over the boat. Ugh. So gross. Poultry versus beef and pushing more tuna. Yeah. So, Zach, what I do is canned chicken or canned tuna with like Hellman's real mayonnaise because it doesn't have any carbs. And I'm like, I could eat a whole can. Like one of them Hoss cans, right? One of them real ones. And I'm like, this is good. I'm comfortable with this. I could do this. Salmon is, I think that's what you're writing, right? Salmon is also good. I got this big old slab of salmon from Costco. And dry rubbed that thing. Cooked it on the grill. Oh, so good. I'm going to smoke some tofu, too. I know a dude. Well, I mean, Chris, who I had on here for talking about the Ford Lightning. He's a grill master. And he's the master of tofu smoking. So I'm going to check out what he's got going on and see if we can make that happen. Yeah. So I got some, I'm doing some changing. I'm going to get back to my fighting weight. Yo. See this? Look, everybody hates on this light. I mean, I hate it on this light. I said it didn't suck, but it totally worked. And it was as good as my Radions. That was a good price. They sold that thing for, and then somebody else got it. It wasn't Kyle, was it? Got it for, no, it wasn't. It was another dude. Got it for wholesale out of Premium Aquatics. I was psyched. But that was a really good price. So I come back from Minnesota, and that thing had split. I got 2. A little bit of corals, a little bit of really shady commercial I saw on TV about full self-driving. This is so lame and so false. I don't like that. So I posted about it. I got my Lux engine. Oh, it's back here. I need to do that work. What was this? Oh, Tesla split. Hey, if you're in the market for stocks, Tesla split, and it's cheap right now. It's like $260. And that's cool. Display. All these corals are pretty happy in here. This is under a Mahina Corals, not the Quanta Pro, just his regular old Quanta. And shit. What's that light? That 100-watt light. Night Crew. The 100-watt Night Crew. Do they have scales? Dogfish. Jaylene, I didn't touch that thing enough to want to know if it had scales or not because it just smells. See? Bert knows because he caught one. Just nasty. Philippine reefer is being strange. Shocker. Are you going to watch the launch tomorrow? Yeah, 321 reefer, of course. Artemis. Really looking forward to seeing the footage that we get from going back to the moon. SLS is going, right? Is it SLS? Help me out with that. Yeah. SLS is going to the moon tomorrow. I mean, it takes a minute to get there, right? It's not like going to California. But Artemis 1 launching tomorrow, hopefully with parts from the space shuttle and all sorts of cool looking stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. 321, thank you for that. Good point. A Filipino reefer, I have invested in both Weed and Tesla, and I can tell you which one has returned 1,200%. And it ain't Weed. Just saying. So Dodge Challenger. So I'm psyched that the gas Challengers are going away because it's just a douchey car. But whatever. That's just how I feel. I own several douchey cars, and the Dodge is one of them. I don't own the Dodge, but that's how I feel about it. The new Dodge EV, that Charger EV, it's got a couple of styling aspects that harken back to the old days. It has that stupid sound when it's going slow. It sounds like a Cybertronian kitty growling. It just sounded stupid. But I'm psyched for that car. I think that's a good thing. Phil, having 20 or more solar panels installed on my roof. Boom! That's awesome. Dude, you're going to dig. You're going to dig what you get out of those panels. I am 100% certain you're going to. Battery too, or just the panels? You got to be getting a battery. Yeah. So psyched about this. Yo. So, Focustronic. I know the Alcatronic is a popular device. I think that's probably their only popular device. They're releasing, this is not US dollars, this is Australian dollars. So for 285 Australian, which is like twice as much, whatever, the price of this thing, which is the one that comes with the Hydros, which is the one you can buy off of Amazon for $30 if it's non-Hydros branded. They're charging say $140. What was it? I think I can scooch this over. What were the words I said? Yeah, there it is. $134. That's just stupid. Who the hell's going to do that? No, not me. They better not be doing that. I'm going to be pissed they doing that. Chris is going to, Clevin's going to look out his back door. I absolutely want to come down for a Falcon Heavy. I think Falcon Heavy's going in October. So I want to see the two boosters land. I want to see the whole thing go and then see the two boosters land. So I'm going to come down to the Space Coast and check that out. Help me out with that, Bert. Battery come later. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right. So, and then... oh, I got into this. I was being a douche. I need to clean this tank. But seriously, zero maintenance tank. All I add is fresh water occasionally. It doesn't even have an automatic. Doesn't have an ATO. I legit just pour water in this tank. Yeah. What do they use? You're 240 or 220 over there? What do you got? You got funky voltage? But this tank right here, no maintenance at all. A NEM tank. It's got a leather in there. It's got a clown in there, and that clown is an a-hole. You could do a super dirt cheap tank if you wanted to. Just clean yours. Don't do it my way. Look at that night crew. Doesn't that night crew look nice right there? Look at that. That's pretty. 250 volts. 50 hertz. Jabo. Camor. Oh, yeah. EKG. Look at the top one. See the top one? Top one's good. Bottom one? Bad. My heart was all jacked up. 250 beats per minute. Stupid. Don't do that. Heater. Oh, hey. This one's huge. Let me scooch this over. So the BRS heater, German heater, rebranded, right? Why does it do that? It makes those all go away. The BRS heater is $75. You know what the wholesale is on that? I do. And $75, they are making a killing. I don't get it. And then why? I mean, whatever. I don't get it. Just buy the Finex. $240. What's the best Jabo second wave maker? I like the SLWs. SLWs last forever. Get some. I got 2 of those. I got one running outside. If puddle's still on, this is the thing that's cycling water in that tank outside. I wanted to make sure it was okay. I picked up a new feeder that is, and it was cheap. That's compatible with Hydros. Worked. I got a little hate for that one. Interestingly, not interestingly. It's okay. So here's what's up. I'll get hate for buying alternative Hydros gear, but if I do electrical work my own, like the hate is around, you know, if your house burns down because you use this Hydros or you use this off-brand, off-label Wi-Fi feeder connected to Hydros, then you're not protected by Hydros. But if I do my own DIY electrical in my basement bathroom, that's cool. I can kind of tell the affiliations at that point, right? Because there's no, oh my God, you're going to burn down your house because you're replacing a light switch. But there was like, oh my God, you're going to burn down your house because you bought an off-brand, off-label feeder made by the same company that makes them for Hydros. Too much weed, bro. SLW. So I think the SOW is the Wi-Fi one. And I don't see a need for Wi-Fi power heads. I don't get it. I'm cool with SLWs. That's what I would do. No Wi-Fi. No need for it. SLW. See, Filipino Reefer, that's twice. We have agreed. Write that down, brother. Yeah, we're going to talk about those. Well, whatever. We're going to talk about these batteries here in a second. I got them both next to me. A little bit of the sun sharing the UV, 240 volts, 50 hertz. Yeah, we get, I mean, my car charges off 240, 60 hertz. This spectrometer reading, although this is old, showing a little under 400 nanometer measure with a spectrometer from the sun at, what depth was this? Like a couple meters. 4 meters. I mean, that's far, right? 12, 15 feet, somewhere in there. 0.4. That's bad. I turned off my UV. No, wait, what did I do? I stopped dosing EcoBalance, and I turned on a UV. And I ran that for a month, and my phosphates went from 0.1 to 0.4. Old school when I took a clownfish to... Oh, yeah, look, see that? That is a 7204, a Meter 7204. So the little one, the 100 and something watt one. And I'm gonna. So hey, GHL is cool, right? Because I was like, yo, you got like a show light or a loaner that I could pay shipping to get it here? Poof, an invoice shows up for me to pay $24 to ship it. It shows up at my house. I'm paying for this because I want to test the light. ATI said no. Would you like a ICP test? GHL goes, yeah, here's the light. Test it. I'm like, right on. That matters to me. I gotta send these. I got 3 power bars that I replaced those shitty transformer rectifiers. Do you shit off? Oh, Jeremy, you could have let it there. You could have left it, bruh, because it's recorded. Those shitty transformer rectifiers that Neptune put in their EBA32s, I swapped those out for Meanwells. For those 3, and there's another one over here I gotta send back. Do you shut off your skimmer when you dose? Jeremy, I don't skim. I will skim with the new tank. Oh, my new tank's showing up tomorrow. That means the shelf in the garage got cleaned off, and I got to drive it around a little bit, and that was fun. But my new whatever the hell it is, my new tank shows up tomorrow. My 100-gallon. I don't remember what I bought, but it was 40% off, so I bought it. Somebody will remember for me. So yeah, these EBA32s, go Neptune. Fix these for people because you know you put shitty parts in them. I've got the Luxdium Blue, and then I've got the Illuma-Magic, the Blaze X Mini pucks to swap out. So I'm going to play with those at some point. I need to go get my AI Prime out of storage. Just check out one of those rebanded Hydros bars can't beat $20. Oh, where'd you get that, Peter? I don't know if you can share links in this, but that's awesome. Throw it in here. Not a sponsored 100-gallon tank. Yeah. Innovative Marine EXT. That's what I bought. Thanks, Phil. Filipino Reefer, I bought that with my money. There's no sponsorship involved. Silly. So, do you know there's a CO2 shortage right now? Because I know it at work. It's difficult to get bulk CO2. What's that do to calcium reactors? That's what I want to know. Sponsored 100-gallon. Okay, come on, bro. So this thing is $7, and it's Hydros compatible. I mean, you could pay for the $24 one. That's cool. $7. See, I've been playing with this all the time. Look, TPU. Wow. This stuff's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is probably not use these, but whatever. But this is the Clevin turbulent nozzle. This thing's pretty cool. It's a stupid stress toy is what it is. I like this. Local Air Gas doesn't have bottles, but we'll fill yours. That's cool. I'm glad you can still get it. Just drilled an IM. I'll drill more holes for you. No, thank you. Yeah, so, yeah. This is, whatever. This TPU printed... Ooh. TPU printed nozzle is was a thing at Reefapalooza. But I mean, I can print my own, and this costs legit. Wait, not this one. This one's bigger, so it's a little more. Normal 3/4 inch stubby like you're seeing on the screen right now. This costs $1 in materials to print. You know. That's how I roll. So, while I was in Minnesota, at the coolest store on the planet with more guns than anybody on the East Coast would ever be comfortable with seeing, I saw this Frabill thing. And I was like, what the hell is this? because it's got a switch and it turns on and it gives you battery charge status and all this BS, right? I was like, what's this? And it is a pre-built 0 DIY 10 amp hour. You can add more if you need to, but 10 amp hour in like this sweet. Wait, I can switch it. Let me turn that off for a second. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. We'll just look at. Tell me that's not awesome, right? Man, you're way up there, ain't you? But look at that ammo case. Plastic ammo box, not really, but whatever, just for fun. I got this thing for like 150 bucks. I think it's 180 now, but whatever. Keep an eye on it because the price is going to drop. We'll come back to this. But I like that. I like that battery. I like that. I'll show you why I like that battery in just a second. I did an MS. I did an ICP MS with ICP analysis, which and it came back with some weird high stuff. And it looks like I've been, so here's what I think what's happening. It looks like I've been slowly creeping up. So my KHD, which was testing 12 times a day, which is now testing 1, in my relatively high sulfur tank was creating chlorine. Because if you drop HCl in a tank with a high sulfur content, one of the byproducts is chlorine gas. I got some chlorine. Dude, James Webb. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. That's my point. If you're dropping in HCl, which is what the KHD uses in a high sulfur environment, do you get some chlorine? This is a whatever. That's a prototype Clevin, and I'm enjoying playing with those things. This is a cool view, right? This is a building I lease. I don't do anything with it. Hope to one day. Looks nice. So yeah, here it is, $565.95. I understand that to be wholesale. So pretend for a second that you're paying $870 for a Sky. The wholesale price is $565. Neptune gave them a really good wholesale price, and retailers are trying to make. So what Neptune did is, hey, sell our lights, and then they cut them a sweet deal because the Skies are cheap to make. And then the like Premium Aquatics can make a profit of like $320. That's badass. But whatever. I know one guy who got it at that price from Premium Aquatics. Air gas ran out of nitrogen and oxygen, said they don't have cylinders. Ooh. Better late than never. What's up, Tyler? ATI all the way on ICP. Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. 20 amp hour lithium hour will run both tanks without death for 10 hours. Yeah, that's it. I agree with you, Bert. That's that. That was cool of GH. Oh, hasn't burned down my house yet. Dumbass. Let's get to that in a second. And oh hey, don't let mosquitoes grow in your ATO water. For reals. This is the ATO bucket. Don't do that. I don't know what that black stuff was. Look at that. I think that's mosquito poop. If anybody needs some Xenia, I got you. But you got to be close. Because I have some. Tell me that's not nice. Look at this. We're just going to sit here. This isn't going to. This is my Zen moment of the stream. Okay. A little bit of that. Actually, that looks really nice, right? Doesn't that look nice? That's under the Mahina Corals, Quanta, not Bro, and Nicrew 100. Happy with the 7206s. Yep, those are good lights. Had some. Look, that pump's like $35. You can buy an Ultra Zero, and it'll suck lower. Or you can buy a Kesem. Yo, I finished. No, I didn't finish. Where my tank is, the tile's not done. Everywhere else in the basement, to include that piece of slate right there. See that slate? That black slate, that hearth extension? That's done. Tile's done, except for the tank is. I got to figure out that part. I don't know what this is. I don't know what to do. What's this video I had? Whatever, we're done with that. Oh, yeah. That was night group photo mode. Boom. Just turn on the whites. That's the 45. So that's, I mean, for the most part, that may be the last picture of the 45 I share. There's a fish in there that I hide that y'all don't see. It was up in the top. It was up in that corner, up in the top. All those corals are happy. Electrical. Look, it looks nice, right? I wire hot too, because I can't find a breaker. But it's easy. Don't do it my way. Look it. Doesn't that look nice? Took that thing out. That had been out of the garage in a long time. I'm going to start driving that car. Everybody said I need to get that right there. Little Grand Theft Auto. Watch it. Here it comes. Watch that jump. Boom. And there was like a money bags comment. That 996 right there, that's a 2000 911 Cab 4. So cabriolet, so convertible, all-wheel drive. Seats 4 people. Not really. Seats 2 little people in the back. You can get that car for under $20,000 right now. This one's been modified such that it'll last longer. It's got 115,000 miles on it. But you can get those cheap. Catching up. Haven't quite matched the look of the Stratons next to them as shallow tank yet. Those Stratons are really nice lights, and I need to share that date. I still haven't done that. Kedsum. Yup. Oh, have I gone twitchy again? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I have. I wonder why that is. Yo, if you know anybody with a broken dose, I'll take it. Oh, yeah. This thing's only putting out a few frames per minute. Look at that. That sucks. Oh, yeah. There's the error. We're back. That sucks. Maybe I'll stop sharing. I'll stop doing this. I'm going to close this. Is my computer locking up? Nope, we're back. Whoo! Look at that. Something happened. Technical difficulties. All right. What the hell is that popped up right there? I see that. I see this. And I see that. Made a bunch 5 years back with Ninja Flex. After about 8 months in the tank, they didn't work very well. Hopefully they improved the material. I dropped one of the dose in salt water and want to fix it. Producer Reef, I want a broken dose. Am I twitchy? Let me look. Ooh. That's not what I want to do. Oh, yeah, I'm twitchy again. I want a broken dose so I can pull the guts out and make it GHL controlled. Thanks, Lynn. That's nice of you. So, Chris, that's something that actually they 100% advertised was getting coralline algae off. It's in a video that the maker of the nozzles mentioned. I mean, it's not a big deal, right? How hard is it to get coralline off your nozzles? So, All right, let's talk batteries real quick. First, a long time ago, back when the reefing report was still a thing, Terrence started talking about the Reef Box, REEFBOOX. And the Reef Box from Puddle Aquatics, maybe soon to be from Puddle Aquatics. It says, now would be a good time to insert ads. Creators earn more money inserting ads and viewers are watching. I'm not going to do that. That's douchey. How do you do that? I've never done that before. So the reefing report was making fun of Puddle Aquatics and, well, back then it was just Reef Box because the internet, what you type in the address bar actually took you over to whoever's hosting the Reef Box's website, right? Terrence gave zero consideration to the device itself, the viability of the device, and was only focusing douchebaggery-ish on the fact that that there was no like domain, that they didn't have their own like legit internet address. I'm like, come on, that's what you're going to focus on? That's what he was focusing on. But anyway, he didn't care about the device. I dig the device. So here's what's up. If you plug your power in here, right? And this can be any power you want. Right now, it's hooked up to a 12 volt. If you have a 24 volt device, you plug it in here. If you have a 24 volt battery, you plug it in here. And if you have your device, which is like your power head, you plug it into here. This is a man in the middle, if you will, taking an internet whatever thing like a man in the middle attack. This is a man in the middle attack for power. Device, battery, power. When you lose power, it automatically switches over to the battery and continues to power your device as if it was plugged into power. It works. Filipino reefer, Duracell is not best. Come on. You're going to tell me water changes are the way soon, aren't you? Come on. Power, battery, device. This thing works. I played with it. You can plug anything you want in here because it's just going to switch over, and it does a really good job. This is the Reef Box from Puddle Aquatics. I dig this thing. PRS 1.1 ml pump doser. I've had over a year running. Look at that. This computer. I should have restarted. Running a continuous 1 hour break a day. Still going strong. Bert, I never got that kind of action out of 1.1. I wanted it. I wanted a 1.1 to be able to run continuously. But all of mine, like 2 or 3 of them, crapped out. They just started making really loud noises. That's awesome. So, make fun of a device because it doesn't go to a domain, right? You didn't go to Google Domains or whatever and get your own domain. It just goes to your, instead make fun of it because it goes to a hosting website. That's lame and a douche move. Check out the device. When this thing becomes available, oh, Puddle Aquatics provided this. I'm going to give it back. This is just loaner. But dude Todd provided me this device to play with, to understand, and it's legit. I like it. You take any power head you want, you plug it in here. You take any power supply you want, you plug it in here. Wait, you plug this in here. The battery goes here, my bad. And this thing works. This is a sweet option if you have your own batteries. See, Lynn says it right there. She's got both her return pumps running on a reef box. Twice already she's lost power, and boom, it just keeps running on batteries. Yeah, it didn't last long, dude. Any ideas on cost? No, I don't have cost for this yet. I hope to. Hey, Lynn, do we know yet? Just wondering. By the way, I'm not getting anything for this. This is not paid. This is not sponsored. This goes back unless I buy it. This thing, I bought this on Amazon. This got like 8 amp hours, something like that. Check out this little thing. This is a UPS. This is a tiny little UPS that you can plug into the wall, turn it on, and then you have various voltages. God, I'm tired tonight. I can't see. It must have been that kale I had for dinner. You plug in various voltages. It's dark in here too. You got 12 volt outlet, you got 9 volt outlet, and you got USB. So this right here, if you plug your power head, if you got 12 volt power heads like a Jabo SLW5, or you could plug in one of those booster doohickeys to allow you to run 24 volt power heads, you could plug them into here. This is a battery, but you're also plugging this thing in. So this thing was cheap. I don't remember how much, but this was cheap. Under $100. Count me in. It's got to be less than that. I would be blown away. Yeah, that's cool. This is a, so you take this, here's your battery. And you plug that in your reef box, and now you have 12 volts to run your 12 volt power head through the reef box just as a backup source, and you never lose juice, and it's this small. Right? I'm not supposed to say right, and I'm not supposed to say okay, because I watched some Neptune streams, and that's all that was said. Okay. Right? Right? We'll get to this in a second. Yo, Big Red. Remember Big Red? Big Red's still kicking. Big Red has, I don't know what the hell, what did I make? I made a battery that fits inside Big Red. I took out whatever the hell I bought and I put this in here. I don't even remember what I made. Charge wires. Oh no, this is to add another battery. But Big Red is still kicking. 32 amp hours, if I remember right. I think that's what that pack is. So, here, right? USB, here, 12 volt. So here's where it gets a little fun. Here's the fun. Yeah, that is a, if it's under $100 out the door, that's a good price for plug and play. It makes it super simple. Sits right in the middle. So let's say you got a reef box and a Frabill. or Big Red because you built one. And you've got a couple Vortec. Two things real quick. The Ecotech lead acid, 18 amp hour lead acid that goes for about $35. It's now their backup battery, which gives you a charger, which is a cheap charger, and an 18 amp hour battery is $200. And that's bullshit. Ecotech backup battery is $200, and that's going to last you 3, maybe 5 years max. But after 3 years, your available power has degraded, and you're not going to get full capacity. You're not going to get 18 amp hours. That's just lame. So this is a lithium iron phosphate, and it's small. It's 10 amp hour. But you can attach other batteries to it if you so desire. Right? Oh, I did it. I said right. The best part of this is that it like Big Red, it has USB and it has cigarette lighter power. I found this wire on Amazon that connects directly to your Vortec. Right? It's one of these little... Oh, I said it again. It's one of these little doohickeys that plugs into the regular old 2.5 millimeter. I don't remember. This is exactly the plug you need to plug into your Vortec. Connected to a cigarette lighter plug. You can buy any battery you want. Plug it in. Red light of love. Poof, you're powering your Vortec. So it doesn't need to be this, and this thing's like $170 right now. I paid $150. Fire insurance. What? Not for lithium iron phosphate. Lithium iron phosphate Filipino reefer is not a flammable formulation. It'll smoke. That's it. It's not going to catch on fire. Oh, it's got... Yeah, dude. Todd, I liked it. It's got a red flashlight and it's got white flashlights too. What? So you buy this and you watch it because you know it's going to go on sale again. Oh, it comes with its own charger too. It's in the box. You keep this thing charged. You got your Vortec plugged into this. You got your Puddle Aquatics reef box plugged into this as well. Off of whatever. Off of any other port. You can do a Y connector off of here. You can banana wire it thingies here. Whatever. However you want to do it. I wouldn't do it here. I'd do a Y connector here, and I would use this to connect to more batteries if you needed more juice. And now you're able to fully power your 12-volt devices using the reef box, using a battery backup. That this and that wire costs less than Ecotech's 12-volt battery backup. And don't get me started on whatever. What's that other one? What was the one in the thumbnail? The one that CoralVue markets. Ice, whatever the crap. That thing's a 2.5 amp hour battery for $170. Icecap. 2.5 amp hour. This is 10. 2.5 amp hour. Lead acid for $170. Like, if you buy that, they're just giving you a battery and you're just shoving it right up your wazoo. Because they're just ripping you the hell off. At least Ecotech is like, yeah, I'm ripping you off. Because it's $200 for an 18 amp hour. This is right now $180 on Amazon. I'm not affiliated. I'm not going to give you a link. I'm not going to do any of that crap. You can find this thing. $180 with this wire. It's still less than 200. Plugs right into your Vortec, and it'll last 10 years. It's a lithium iron phosphate battery. It's not lead acid. How the hell they're getting away with selling you a lead acid battery, an 18 amp hour lead acid battery inside of whatever, I've done this before, right? Inside of a metal container that's riveted together, and charging you, and a cheap ass charger, and they're charging you $200 for it. I mean, people buy them. Maybe just, do people buy them? Like, are people like willing to shell out $200 for an 18 amp hour lead acid battery they could buy on Amazon for $35? Or are the ones who are saying like, yo, the Ecotech battery is awesome, are like the people who are giving them? See? Clevin says it. Yeah, Icecap. Thanks, Jeremy. I went dumb. For the Frabill, this is 10 amp hours. So you could take one of those Miady, those batteries that I talked about before, and you can either plug them in here, or you can put little C connector on your wires and connect them here, and then poof, you've got bigger batteries in parallel. So you could take a 32 amp hour, 50 amp hour, 100 amp hour, whatever, connect it in parallel. This thing will die way sooner, but the 100 amp hour will keep this thing charged. And then you got like 100 amp hours worth of, I mean, that's a more expensive battery. Like that's a $350, $400 battery for a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate pre-built. But they don't die after 3 years. Well, they don't degrade heavily after 3 years of use. They're going to last for 2,000 cycles or so, right? They're going to last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years if you're lucky, but probably 12. So you can buy a $200 Ecotech. God, it's such a ripoff. And it's going to last you 3 to 5 years. And then you got to buy it again. Another $400. Or $180, and it'll last you 10, 12 years. And the battery's replaceable easily. It's not held in by rivets. Connect that to your reef box. And then you can, without concern, power your power heads, power your return pumps, power whatever you need. Because I can help you with 24 volts too if need be. And you're good to go. And then there's this. Clevin's being a jerk. Yes, my third backup is my car. Because I've got a sine wave inverter that I can plug into my 12 volt battery. The 12 volt battery is powered by the big battery underneath the car. So my last resort when my generators run out of gas is to connect the car to a pure sine wave. I think what Puddle Aquatics is providing in the reef box is a kick-ass little device. And it's certainly worth more than an Icecap 2.5 amp hour battery backup. Because you can use any battery you want with this. If you need help making 24 volt batteries, let me know. All that's pretty easy to do. Yeah. Thanks, Lynn. If Puddle's still on, I want to etch it. Because I plugged in the power just so I'd remember which one is power. I want to etch these things. I want to hit it with a laser. You tell me. Get it right here. I won't charge you. Although I like this little box. And I'll pay for my backup. What else we got to talk about? What's the advantage of plugging in a Puddle box with a Vortec? Just plug in a Vortec and a battery. Vortec, not so much, but if you're using other, absolutely. Or any other return pump, Jabo, what have you, whatever. Right here. Vortec, I just use a Frabill. Because that driver head already has a battery backup plug. If you wanted to drive your Vortec, here's an opportunity. If you wanted to drive your Vortec at normal speed, not slowed down backup battery speed, reef box. If you want to drive your Vortec at prescribed backup battery power speed, totally any battery you have. But all the other power heads that don't have that battery plug in it, reef box. I'm just messing with you, Clevin. I know you're not being a jerk. How many days, let's say 2 Jabo power heads, do they last? Which they? Like a Frabill, it's a 10 amp hour. So it's not going to be, I don't know, it depends on the speed of your Jabos. You would do a great service by showing step by step how you do it. In this particular case, if you have Vortex, you plug this in, you turn this on, and you plug this into your Vortec driver, and you're done. If you're driving something other than a Vortec, you plug its power supply into here. You plug the battery that you're going to use, and it should be the same voltage as your power supply. And then you plug your device into here, and you're done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Cool. And then I got a bunch of batteries down there that I could just connect up to the Frabill if I wanted to. Mikey, let me know what makes sense to you. What would be more helpful? Then I'll take care of you. Like, I could bring a Jabo up here and power it off a 12 volt with a booster to 24 volt to a Jabo with the Frabill plugged in with its 12 volt charger. Does that make sense? The way that Ecotech uses their battery backup with a 36 volt or 32 volt. Is it 32? I can't remember. It's an odd voltage. The way that they power their return pump with their battery, which is 12 volt. Let's pretend it's 32 volt, their return pump. They use a boost converter, which takes 12 volts and pumps it up to 32 volts. Then you can plug that directly into their return pump, and your 12 volt battery will power their 32 volt backup battery or their return pump. You could do the same thing with a Frabill, or you could do the same thing with Big Red, or you could do the same thing with your car, right? Your car battery. Nero pumps, what are those, 24 volt? If they're 24 volt, I don't think they have a battery plug on them, right? Then the reef box makes sense because you plug in your Nero pump here, right? The power supply here. You plug in a battery, and in this particular case, you'd need 24 volt battery, and I'll have to help you with that. And then your Nero into here, and then you're good to go. If you lose power, your power head keeps running. Ecotech made it easy, allowing you to plug a battery in directly into their driver controller. I think they're the only ones that have done that. Don't buy the Icecap. Because that's cheesy. Would you leave the Frabill plugged into the wall all the time? Yep, I would. Because it's lithium iron phosphate and it has a BMS, it'll stop at top charge. It'll, as soon as it gets up to top charge, it cuts it off and it's fine. And it's just going to sit there on standby unless you need it. If you're using a non-DC return pump, then you're on your own. Then you got to use a UPS, and you got to use a UPS that has a big enough battery to support your AC return pump. Sorry, I'm reading. Small cabinet thing to store my backup. Yeah, have your backup. Have a solution. You know my solution, right? I've got solar that I put up on the roof, 400 watts panels. Kind of the same thing as Devin. Devin's got this field of used lead acid batteries that he hasn't capacity tested yet. I'd be really interested to know the capacity of his lead acid cells, but panels to a solar charge controller to an automatic transfer switch all in the same box to multiple lithium iron phosphate cells because they don't catch on fire. So my house is okay. That's how I roll. If you have, what is it now, $7,000 for a Tesla Powerwall, I absolutely agree. That would be the best way to go. That'd be the easiest way to go. Or just do it, whatever. I don't know if you need a pump adapter to plug into the box. You just need to be able to plug the box's driver. You just need a wire from the reef box to the pump's driver. And I'm assuming reef box will ship with that. There you go. All right. That's all I got. I wanted to talk about the Frabill. I wanted to talk about, what the hell is this thing called? Talent cell. If you look up talents, this is 8. Is this legit 8 amp hours? Yeah, 8.8 amp hours. That means it's using 18650s, which almost gets you 12 volts. It's 11 volts. Whatever. It'll still work. Talent cell, 8 amp hour. Tiny little cool UPS that it's worth having just to be able to charge your phone or something, right? When something craps out. Or you get these 12 volts or 9 volts. I like this Talent Cell UPS. I think this is a cool little device. Then you got your Frabill, which is a direct replacement for the Ecotech ripoff. At $200. You can get this for less. With this, I'll put it in the link. I'll put the link in the description, and then you can plug directly into your Ecotech driver and control your pump. Or there's 32 amp hour Big Daddy, Big Red. That can connect to USB. That can connect to cigarette lighter, right? Just like the Ecotech. A wire here on the Frabill. You got 12 and 24 volts. That's what I did. Same on both sides. But this is more DIY. If you don't want DIY, don't buy the Ecotech. Buy this. Because this makes way more sense. It'll last longer. You won't have to buy it twice. Unless you like the name. Unless you you could put an Ecotech sticker on it if you wanted. All right, that's enough. Glad to be back. It's been a few weeks. Silly hospital visit. And now I'm going to pay attention to what I eat. All right, y'all. What else we got? I'm running RV power, inverter charger, auto transfer switch, bank of deep cycle batteries, runs a whole tank for 2 days. Nico, annually don't do a full capacity, do a 50% capacity test on those lead acid. Deep cycle doesn't mean much to me, right? Deep cycle is it's marketing. So it allows you to discharge your batteries lower than a standard car starting 12 volt battery. But still, deep cycle battery below 50% charge is starting to degrade that cell pack. So do a capacity test annually to understand what the capacity is of those 12 volt deep cycle cells. I think you'll really want to know with that data. I think that matters. Frabill, $150. I bought it, $170, I think, on Amazon right now. If you just look up Frabill on Amazon, you'll see it. Man, lead acid. We need to set those free. Good for starting cars. Oh, hey, how you feel about California and who was it? Washington? By the end of 2035, unless they're sued to extend, no longer selling gasoline cars in California and Washington State. It's starting. I think by 2100, right? It's 2022. Another 88 years, for the most part, will be flipped to electric. We'll be rolling off solar, unless we've figured out how to kill each other by then. Pretty interested. I would love to be able to be around that long to see the full transition. What's Filipino Reefer saying? You getting hold on. Chill. Frabill's 10 amp hours. So after a year and a half, 2 years of buying a $200 Ecotech battery, the Frabill's already outpowering that thing. $180 on Amazon, but pay attention to that price, right? Use Camel or some other service to watch the price, because I think you're going to find that it'll get back down to $150. Like when I was at the store in Minnesota, they had a whole shelf full of these things for like $150, $160. Clevin fell asleep. Shocker. So you can't, if you can't do DIY, don't do this hobby. Yeah, that's not the right thing to say. Come on. Yeah, bicycle is better. Horse is better. Camel can do it too. And now you're going to tell me about water changes. Yeah. Phil, I think everybody's going to do it. Because once you do it and you're comfortable with it, there's zero need. The only car we drive is EV. Road trip, around town, doesn't matter. But I totally dig. You and I are on opposite sides here, and that's cool. I totally dig that California and Washington State are shutting it down. They're like, no, suck it. EV only. By then, prices will be badass. Yeah, California gets blackouts, sure, but that's not a problem. That's not a problem for your EV transition. I know you think it is, but it's not. I don't charge every day. I can charge every 4 days if I need to. You don't get 4-day blackouts. All right, y'all. I get it. EV is a touchy subject in some places, but it's okay. Your electricity will turn back on. All y'all got electric dryers anyway, so I don't know what the big deal is. Car's sucking around the same amount of juice as your dryer. Until the lithium war. And that one, Clevin, I agree. Because we don't have a lot of resources here. I absolutely agree. So I think the transition to electrical, I think the transition to lithium now is a strategic move because the more lithium that we end up pulling over here on current EVs, and then the forthcoming recycling evolution or revolution, I guess it depends on how you look at it, puts us in a position where we're holding a hell of a lot of lithium over here. Tesla's doing 50 packs a week. No, month. And that's only because that's all they got, because the batteries are lasting long time. So it's going to get a little bumpy. Look, it's going to get political. What? Banning gasoline cars is a good thing because that'll get political quick. Environmental concerns. It's super simple. Yeah, so Filipino Reaver, I disagree. Road tripping in an EV is zero effort. I've done it. It's easy. Yeah, gas is done. 2050. Most states. That's my guess. By 2100, full transition to EV. No more gas, except for old cars. By then, and I agree with Zach, by then, alternative chemistry batteries will be prolific, and we'll figure out how to support our own. Speaking from experience, breathing the fires from the oil wells in Desert Storm, I'm cool. Shut down gas. All right. Batteries are the future. It's inevitable. Like Thanos. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. As always, I hope you're well. Your families are well. Everybody's doing cool. If you're new, like and subscribe. I never ask, but I appreciate it if you do. Oh, I just asked. And have a good week. Maybe we'll catch you next week. Innovative Marine 100 EXT shows up tomorrow. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it, but we'll figure it out from there. All right, y'all. Wait, problem with EV is you are no longer in control of the car or own the car. Whatever. I drive the car. I don't care. What's the problem? Okay, later.